Hey y'all, welcome back. It's been a minute, and I apologize for that, but well, I'm getting ready to do. This is gonna be kind of a quickie. If that sounds good. Actually, sounds kind of bad, really. But jacket here. Don't mind the shirt. It's just a old shirt that's about just stretch limits anymore. I've worked so much, it's about stretched enough. Even after washing it, it don't shrink anymore. Well, we're about to do like a little quick truck shuffle. And it's about a little bit over 40 degrees outside. Not by much. So we're going to see if we can't do a truck shuffle. That way, I can get that other truck up here and haul it where I can get some scrap pot off. Oh, it's a pretty day, ain't it? I don't mind the boxes. I'm going to hold on to them and... Oh, look. The wind blew off the blankets I had covering up the well house. That sucks. Oh, well. But... I'm going to take these boxes and break them down. I'm going to get the plastic and everything out of them also, but the boxes themselves I'm going to break down and just put in a pile and cover it with some dirt with them. You can turn it back into compost. That's all they're worth. And we're going to see if we can get this whole thing going. I see mice have been in my truck. I'm not surprised though. Actually. Now let's see if we can get y'all set up in here. Oh, it's nice and warm in here. It feels like it's in the 60s in here, actually. Oh, come on, truck. Uh-oh. I fell backwards. What did y'all do that for? You alright? I'll probably still fall backwards. Where this seat is. There's the other Chevrolet key. Make sure the radio's off. That's the quickest it's started up in a long time. Can't see out that mirror because I had to fold it because of the shed. Can barely see out this thing because the window's so dirty. We'll get back to this truck. I'm going to try to get back to this truck eventually, but I need the other one over here for it right now. I got to replace the blower motor in this one. Well, actually, I got to think about that. I'm going to go get the title next week. File for a lost title. I'm going to just let this truck go for parts or whatever. As soon as I get the title, it's going to go up for about what I got in it. And then out of that, use the money for stuff I need here, like I need to find a bush hog and desk and plow. I don't know why I keep wanting to use that mirror over there, but I can't use the mirror because it's folded in. And don't worry, I got y'all where you won't fall backwards. Let's see. Plan on getting because of the way this year's turning out, Mom and I are planning on preparing ourselves for anything in the future. I can't put this where I want to because I got a tree limb out the way there. Let's go this way. We'll park behind that other truck. I gotta clean that up. Going next week to get baby chicks next week around Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, I'll be seeing a few videos here in a little bit about getting ready, about getting set up for that. This part right here. I want to make sure I can get around that with a tractor if I need to. And you're not gonna fall backwards. There you go. This is general. Now I've got that one. This one moves. Next one, I gotta unhook the trailer and move it. I know I still gotta get everything out of that trailer because I need her for mowing season coming up. Because I can't get the mower in the back of the truck. I got the ramps, but the deck won't fit between the wheel wells. I wonder. I don't know if I could slide one of those out or not. I might be able to slide that out. Let's try that before I even think about unhooking a trailer. See if I can slide things out, shall we? And I want to warn you, I'm not in my overalls today. I'm in some. I want to be a little bit more comfortable today because it's a beautiful day. Plus my overalls are in the wash. Let's see if I can't get that to slide out. Out the string here. That should slide. Oh yeah. Got a rope. I got a rope or a strap or anything. I don't want to use a bungee cord, that's all apart. A tow rope. Come on, Ruth. I just spot this to you. Yeah, that'll work. Work good enough for what I want to do. Yeah, it's heavy. I think it might be partially hung. Yeah, it's hung. Let's see, can I get over that? There you go. Okay, try that again. wish I knew I had the strength to move that box blade. If I could get that box blade off there, I'd be happy. Actually, I just might be able to. Had a thought. I just had an idea. Must be a good spot for anything to hook to. I know I got that log chain over here. That'd be a better thing to pull that thing with. Pardon me. Daddy's old log chain. That's perfect. Get up here. I'm gonna try to give y'all a little entertainment. Hang on, I'll be right back. Y'all know might know what's about to happen. I know I made Daniels a trailer, but you know what? If I can get that off of there, I can get rid of that old homemade dirt scoop. And that'll help out a lot right now. Let me make sure this is... I'm going to deal with it. I don't have a crowbar with me to move it. So, let me move y'all a little bit further away just in case something goes bad. Like chain breaks. Hope y'all getting all this. If not, I apologize. That ain't gonna suck. Let's see if you got home. They're gonna keep getting hung, so bear with me, y'all. perfectly fine. That's what you can stay right there. Get this chain off the ground. Or it won't get embedded in the ground. There we go. That worked better than I thought. What damage did I cause the trailer though? No crap, y'all. And we'll see. Oh, hey, even moved. I think I may have bumped that a little bit too. Somehow. Could be wrong. But what do y'all think? Let's see what damage there is, if any. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I kind of dug into the ground a little bit. That's okay. But yeah, I don't see any new damage, y'all. If there is, it's very little. Let's get this gate up. Because now I can haul that thing off. I would have used the Alice Chalmers, but it leaks fuel right now, and I can't really fix that at the moment. And John Deere's got a tire that's flat, and they ain't got a compressor that'll reach that far. I gotta get at least the Alice Chalmers going here soon. Love to invest in some investing in some pull type equipment though for the Alice Chalmers. Since it doesn't have a 3-point, love to do that with it. Do some pull type equipment. It's got some hydraulics on it because it's got 2 remotes on it. Keep that. The only reason I decided to keep it is because, well, everybody that looks at it wants a diesel. Grant, I understand wanting a diesel. In fact, I'd love to have one, but because my mom can't be around diesel fumes, I'm doing it this way, or she'd be all right around them, around the tractors. But now, I'm gonna haul that hunk of junk off. It may work for somebody, but yeah, it may work, but I'd rather get something you can actually get parts for if you want to. If you figure out what company works, you can figure out what company made it. If they're still around, or if they got some kind of, or the company that bought them out still around. I got to get some regular pins for. They got those in there for the regular bolts in there for the box blade teeth. I need to get some, the ones that's supposed to be in it. Now let's see here. Oh man, my home. First piece of scrap metal, I think it's. Yep, that's some scrap metal. The front panel off the heater in the and I got some garbage in the back of this truck. I need to put in the garbage can. Then take care of it later. Right now, I'm gonna get this truck moved up front. I'm gonna get the scrap metal that's around the house. Load it up. Oh, almost took you out. Sorry about that. Haven't drove this thing since I moved it here. Okay. Get y'all a little closer. And I'm sorry there's no radio, but being monetized, I can't use it. Unfortunately. Back there. Make sure the radio's off. If it ain't, then at least turn it down. Let's see, shall we? $165,800 miles on this thing. Park in front of the Jeep if I can. Watch your head. Alright. Actually, we might take a quick trip because I gotta check the mailbox. And I don't know. Now I need to get this stuff loaded up first. So let's sit here for a minute and warm up a little bit. Yeah. Mom and I are gonna start cracking down on things here because I know some people believe or don't believe, but that's alright, your opinion, that well, we're afraid that this country might go into a recession or a Great Depression like back in the old days, whether it be a little short moment or long. We're still going to batten down the hatches, so to speak. We're cutting back on what electricity we use. In fact, we've only got 2 heaters working right now in the house to cut back on the electricity, cut it back. We're going to be cutting back our spending on stuff. Like this, something that's groceries are not, I know, is a necessity, but we're going to have to cut back on them a little bit. We're going to cut back on a lot, unfortunately. In fact, the reason we're getting the chicken is because we're getting tired of paying the price of the eggs up here. We always get the brown eggs, because they're free range or technically what I call country eggs. And the cheapest I've been able to find them is, at the moment, right now, those cheapest, even with a Kroger card or anything, is for an 18 count is $7, and I think 89 cents. I think for like free range organic eggs. Believe it or not, the grade A regular large eggs you get in the store, they're for an 18 count of them, they're almost $12. So that's getting up there. I'd rather go ahead and raise our own chickens, have our own eggs. Yes, they'll cost them a fee, but you know what? Chickens can be entertaining during the day. Been trying to sell a few things. In fact, I got my grandmother's old patio furniture. I'm gonna clean up a little bit and repaint and put them up for sale here soon. I'm gonna take down all these kennel panels I got and hold them for a little while. In fact, I might later take all those old cattle panels over here on that trailer and haul them off. Keep the newest ones, but the old ones I'm gonna toss because they're just so bent. Actually, I don't know. You think anyone would be interested in some cattle panels that's been cut? The 16-foot cattle panel's been cut in half. That's what's mostly on there. Some has been cut in half. Because I couldn't, at the time we didn't have a 16-foot trailer, so I had to do something. That was when my neighbor's cattle were getting out, and I haven't had to deal with them here lately. So the older panels I'm gonna get rid of because they're so worn out. I know we got 2 gates around here. I hold on to those. You never know. It's getting to the point where you almost need to hold on to everything you got. Hold on to what you got and just stay at home and do what you can when you're not working. I know right now, technically, I don't have a regular job because I know I hear you, Bricks. But that may soon come to an end about not having a regular job, even though I'd rather be at home doing this, mowing yards, selling firewood. I'd rather be doing all that instead of go work for a corporation. Now, once again, I don't know what y'all believe in or anything, but I believe, I know this might get to upset a few people, but I believe in diversity and equality for everybody. I really do. I think that's something everyone deserves. Let's see if I can straighten up a little bit and then back up. Maybe I can help you look. I'm having to use the mirrors. I'm just trying to straighten up a little bit where I'm not blocking the Jeep. That'll work. Because that rock gravel pile, I can't really pull in here like I like to. Gotta work on that later. Now I gotta get all this scrap appliances or scrap metal, load on this trailer and haul it off. Oh, that's gonna bug me here next to that tree, scrape the roof. Cedar tree, I'm going to cut some of your branches. Don't want to, because you make nice shade, but you don't have to because you're scraping the top of the roof. Yeah, I don't know about some people. Not some people, but everybody. But yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just a little concerned with this country a little bit. And I don't mean because of who's in office. In fact, if I didn't agree with the other, be honest, it doesn't matter what one side or the other, if they have something I don't agree with, I'm not going to be a happy camper. I definitely don't like the idea of the veterans being let go. I don't like the idea of cancer research being cut off, the funding for it. Don't like the idea of farmers being hurt right now because they are technically the backbone of this country, because our forefathers were farmers. If y'all remember, if y'all read that in history books, there's all farmers over here. As well as in this country, we believe, for the longest, we've believed in freedom. And I hope y'all still do. Because that is what every country is wanting, is freedom for themselves. And every person on this God-given earth deserves to be treated equal, whether you're a man, woman, no matter, doesn't matter what race, gender. You should all be treated equally and fair. You should get respect. No one deserves to be treated. No one deserves to be hated. No one deserves to be bullied either. We're better than that. We should be better than that. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen within the next 4 years or whatever. But I know everybody deserves to be treated with respect and care. I don't. The more I look around at some of these other countries, I believe this country's lacking a little bit. I say should have free medical for everybody. Shouldn't have to have health insurance to be able to go to the hospital and get treated. Shouldn't cost an arm and a leg. And for my mom's sake, medication shouldn't cost an arm and a leg. Right now she's got 2 medications, and right now they're ranging. One's a blood thinner, ranging around $116 a bottle every time it gets filled, and then she's got an inhaler. Now get this with the inhaler. It's called Breast Tree, and when she first was having to use it, is maybe $60 to fill up fill that inhaler up. Now, for that same little inhaler, and y'all know what I'm talking about, inhalers. You can get that Primatene mist at Walmart. That's what the inhaler is. That size inhaler, to have it get that redone, is almost $170 now. About roughly, I think 5-6 years ago, it was just under $200 for that little thing. Now it's almost back up there again to about $180. And Mama needs it, but we can't go that route. So she's gonna have to. She's gonna have to stretch it. Unfortunately, she don't need to, but she's gonna have to. Cause we can't. She can't keep dishing that out, and I'm not making a whole lot from YouTube, and I didn't sell as much firewood as I was hoping to. One thing that hurts me there is because the firewood's just old. It was about 3 years old, if not older. And that hurts me on that. But in fact, we had to drop or take the insurance. We had to put liability instead of full coverage on my mom's Jeep, which we hated to do. We had to put liability on it only. We was paying about $240 for insurance with that Jeep on full coverage. But we wanted to have the full coverage for just in case, because that Jeep's got less than 50,000 miles on it. Didn't want to drop the full coverage on it, because if we was to get in a wreck, we couldn't afford to replace it. And yes, we got this truck, but Mama's able to get in that Jeep so much better than this truck, and that's why that's one reason why we got it. The truck's just a little bit too high for her, My grandmother's old car was way too low for her, so we got something that's kind of in the middle, and that Jeep fits the bill. But we don't. But right now we gotta just put it on liability because we couldn't afford full coverage. For this truck and that Jeep, it's about $240 a month. We just couldn't go that route. And in fact, it's getting so bad, we're even thinking about dropping our phone service because we don't know what the future looks like for a while. You're able to see my videos because me and my mom and I use prepaid phones from Wally World. We put so much money on them a month, and it'll last the whole month, and we got to put it back on again. But we also got Wi-Fi, where we can at least keep up with Wi-Fi in the home phone, and that's $150 every month. So, and our electric bill last month was $336. And my mom don't get a whole lot with Social Security when they're with things going. That might not be around long either. It just sucks that people like my mom, he's worked over 27 years, and Social Security's pretty much being threatened the way it seems in our eyes. And that's what's keeping us afloat here. We got her doctor's appointments, we got her medication, we got the bills, we got groceries and everything. I know what little dab I do make does help, but when things starting to go up and probably going to keep going up or staying up, it's going to take more. Because my family's never been in the middle class, and I don't think we'll never be able to afford to. We are literally what you call the poor class here. Yes, I got two tractors. We got the Jeep, we got this, and all this. The only reason we was able to get all this is because of what my grandmother left us after she passed away. We've been able to do a little work to the house and everything because of that, and I'm very thankful for that. But if things keep going up, we're definitely gonna be struggling. And I know there's gonna be I know there's gonna be more struggling than just us. But I figured I just kind of point that out. The more expensive things get, the more things they drop that's being funded, the harder it is going to be for the folks like my mom and I that are literally in the poor class that make what? Less than, I don't know how much. I'm going to put it this way. We technically don't make $25 an hour. We never have in our life. I think the most I ever made was maybe about $10 an hour. That was it. And that was during COVID when I was at Lowe's. Because they hired me on for what I think the minimum wage was $7.20 cents. There's minimum wage here in Tennessee. Yeah, it helped, but I started getting stressed out, and it was not doing my health any good. So I had to go. I voluntarily quit because I couldn't take the stress because I was such a kind-hearted person. It hurt me that I couldn't actually help the elderly when they had a certain vehicle I couldn't put I was told not to put, anything they bought, inside a vehicle like an SUV or van. I couldn't do it. They'd have to do it because of COVID. And that hurt me so bad. It stressed me out. In fact, I started getting nosebleeds before I finally voluntarily quit because I was getting so stressed out. In fact, one night I had a nosebleed so bad it almost didn't stop the nosebleed. I'm kind of glad I woke up when I did. It took over 2 hours for it to finally stop, and when that nosebleed was that bad, I knew I was getting too stressed out, and that morning I went up there and said I voluntarily quit. Didn't want to, but I just couldn't. I couldn't stand not being able to help the elderly when they couldn't really lift the bags of soil and rocks and put them in their vehicle. I was told not to, because if I did, I would be pretty much fired if I did it. And I couldn't. They even had police enforcing it that day. Well, not that day, but while I was working there. If I'd done that once with the police looking, I probably would have got a fine. I know the store would have been charged a fine, and I probably would have lost my job at the same time. In fact, it hurt. I was the only employee that it bothered. It bothered everybody that was working up there, because I worked in the garden center, and I would help load vehicles for customers. But if they had a SUV van that was fully enclosed, I couldn't help. They had to do it themselves. And most of the ones that came up there were mostly the elderly, because they want to be, have something to do while they're, stuck. And so, well, I know we've come a long way since then, and I honestly thought things were getting better till this year. This year's gonna be a nightmare. All right, this year's gonna be a nightmare for the middle and the poor class. Trust me. If you're in the middle class and the poor class, you better start preparing yourselves for whatever this year's gonna give out. Because if you watched the news, you've seen the fires in California, you've seen the fires in South Carolina, you've all the bad weather we've had this year in just what 2 months, in just this 1 year, this 2 months alone, the floods, the storms. I mean, shoot, there's been fires around here lately, keeping them kind of. I know Carroll County, which is that direction, they've been dealing with fires here lately. There's been a couple around here, house fires, where people's lost everything they own. And I know there's people all over this country that's lost everything they own because of the fires and the weather. And right now, when they need the help, they're not getting it, are they? I hate the idea of. I know I'm going backwards here, and I apologize, but I hate the idea of us cutting, of this country being, this government cutting certain funding. Like I said, FEMA really can't help anybody out right now, because I think their funding's pretty much been either froze or cut off. Same with the agriculture. Uh, you got Medicaid that's been tortured here recently of $800 billion. And in fact, that actually helps out a lot of people. That stuff does. If you don't, that helps out a lot of this lower class folks. I know one thing. I still definitely upsets me about the cancer research being froze and or cut off, because that's what took my daddy's life is cancer, and I keep hoping they'd find a cure for cancer, all of it. But if you're going to cut the funding to find it, it's ridiculous. I can understand cutting back on wanting not many people working in the government. I can understand that, but at the same time, you shouldn't have to cut veterans out of their jobs. Shouldn't cut the funding to help veterans. Shouldn't cut the funding for agriculture, cancer research, medical help, Medicare. Shouldn't cut the help for all that. You shouldn't. All you're doing is hurting the people of this country. To be honest, I gotta say it, the way it's looking, way from all the bills that's been passing this year and all the other things that's been stopped or reversed, it is almost like, and I don't care which side of that stupid aisle they say is your own. I don't care which side of that aisle you're on. It seems like most of them don't really give a, pardon my language, it gives a damn about anybody in this country here lately. Nobody. In fact, don't even seem like this government cares about our neighbors, our allies. We've been allies, we've been friends with our neighbors and everybody across the pond, as they say. Who's across the pond? We've been friends and allies for what, 80 years? And now we're not going to be? We're going to be friends with what's his face? Which is the enemy of the allies? Honestly. I wasn't going to mention any names right now, but I'm going to put this out there. My father, who is I can tell you this right now, when he was around, may he rest in peace, he was a full-blooded Republican. And I mean full-blooded. That's all he'd vote for. And when the certain person that's in the White House now started running, my father said if he ever gets to be the one I gotta vote for, I'm not voting. I even asked him why. He said, well, he's not fit to run this country. He's went bankrupt 6 times in his life, if not more. My dad said he's been a liar. He's he skipped out on going into the military, all because of a little spur 5 times. Of course, I know it says a lot when my father said he wasn't going to vote Republican if the person that's in the White House now was running, and he never did vote for him. He honestly said he would have voted for the other side, but he said he wasn't sure if the country at the time he wasn't sure if the country was ready for a woman president at the time. I mean, even I voted Republican because I listened to my father And when he said that about the one that's in the White House now, me and him didn't vote for a Republican. We didn't. Because my dad said he knows if he got ever in office, he actually ruined his country. And that was a lot for my father. I wish he was still around. I do miss him. I miss hearing his stories. I miss hearing my uncle and my aunt's stories. Granted, they was all basically the same story, but they all had their little different versions of them. I'm sorry for my rant and everything, but I figured I needed to let it out. Because it seems like when I post stuff on my social media accounts, either it's being ignored or either it's being ignored or plain flat out don't believe me. Which is fine, but I figured maybe at least someone out there would listen to me on here. Anyways, I'm going to let y'all join me when I come to load up this scrap. It ain't going to be today because it's a little bit too windy and too cool. And like I said, I got to get my overalls washed. Because I don't like working in these comfy pants when I'm out here. I got no choice, I will. But right now, I'd rather have my overalls. But anyways, and another thing we're planning on doing to cut back. We're not going to be we're going to do our best not to use air conditioners this year. Because we know they use a little bit more electricity than we really like to. And we're also going to try our best not to use electric heaters this winter coming up. We're going to try to find we're wanting to find one of those stoves that you can actually, one of those old style wood burning kitchen stoves, like the old days. That way during the winter months we could cook on it and it actually help keep us warm during the winter. That's what we're wanting to, find. But anyways, I think I'm going to call it here, and I want to say thank you for joining me in this video. Thank you for watching my craziness over there. Most of all is I want to say if you watch the whole video and hear what I'm saying, I thank you for at least listening to me, because I don't know if it makes sense to anybody or not. I just felt like I need to tell somebody, I wanted y'all to know how I felt. What I think of what's going on in this world right now. And like I said, if you don't want to listen to it, that's okay. I just figured maybe someone out there would be willing to listen. Oh, and I want to put it in this video, but I got an envelope from some fans down in Florida. I want to say thank you for the NASA stickers. I can't remember your names, and I apologize for that, but I'll mention it the next time in my next video who y'all are, if you want me to. But thank you for the NASA stickers. In fact, one of my favorite movies is Apollo 13. Oh, I mean. But yeah, if y'all want to know a little bit more about me, like, simple things like that, I'd be more than welcome to tell you. I could probably tell you a few stories every now and then that's happened while I've been on this earth. And some that I've probably heard. Now, granted, when it comes to that, I'm probably not going to mention any names, In fact, I may have to change the story up some because I don't want the ones that some of the stories happen to get too embarrassed by it. But most of the ones I know probably won't really is not that worried about it. But I'll make sure first. But yeah, I don't mind telling a few stories about my daddy, my uncle. If y'all want to hear a few every now and then. Well, this is already an hour long anyway, so I'll throw in a story right now. One that's about my daddy when he was growing up. I mean, it's one he kind of told once in a great while. He was telling me about how he would actually every now and then do a favor for one of his friends years ago when he was younger. I mean, way younger, about my age, if not younger. You know, he would cross the state line a few times whether it was something that was technically considered bootlegging back then. Still considered bootlegging now. He told me one time that he told me one time he was on his I think he was on his way to Missouri or Missouri or something like that, going across the river, and he got to the road. He got to a roadblock that was by the police department. At least I think it was the police department. It might have been it could have been the good old revenuers too back then. So they stopped and told my daddy to get out. They was gonna search the truck. So they started searching the truck. I mean, literally just tearing the truck apart. He told me, and they couldn't find anything. So the only place they hadn't looked, however, the only place they hadn't looked yet was the toolbox on the back of the truck. And as soon as the one officer opened that toolbox lid up, all he saw was greasy rags, tools, pretty much just rags, towels, and everything full of grease, dirt, grime, and everything on the very top. And my daddy said, "Well, aren't you going to look?" One of the other officers said, "Aren't you going to look in there?" He goes, "No, it looks good." He closed the toolbox and let my daddy go. And lucky for daddy, those police officers didn't want to get dirty because, well, I think daddy said he had I think he said about 10 to 15 gallons of a certain beverage underneath all those rags and towels. I think he said, I think about 10 to 15 gallons. So my daddy technically was able to outsmart people with doing it with a toolbox. Granted, none of that story's out there. Try not to use that story because they're more than likely the officers nowadays to go through it no matter what. Anyways, I hope y'all have a great weekend coming up. I'd like for y'all to have good thoughts, prayers for everybody that's struggling in this country, everybody that's dealing with the fires that we've had recently, the storms. I pray for all of our friends up north, south, in Europe. Cause I got friends. I got a few friends everywhere. I do believe. And I always want to set up good. I always pray, say good thoughts about them, because they've always had our back over the years, and we've had theirs. And I definitely want to put up some thoughts and prayers for a few people I've started chatting with that's either from Ukraine or in Ukraine. I want to say I'm truly sorry about how the person in the White House treated your president. He deserved more respect than that. He deserved He didn't deserve to be treated like a. He didn't deserve to be treated bullied. He deserved respect and honor, because y'all are going through a very lot over there in Ukraine. In fact, your president's got more of a backbone and a spine, a backbone and guts than the one we have. Just to me, I'm just saying, because at least y'all's has actually been to battle. Ours bypassed it with a spur on it, a heel spur, or what you want to call it. I mean, to me, that's a sad reason for not going to fight for our country, for our freedoms, our rights. I want to say thank you for all the Americans that have volunteered to go over there and help. And I pray that everything starts looking better and brighter for everybody. So with that said, excuse me. Once again, have a great weekend. Have a great rest of the day today. This is Thursday. I might try to load up scrap tomorrow, because I got a nice pile right there by the front door, unfortunately. And I need to see if that air conditioner doesn't work, it's going in scrap too that's sitting there. Because I want to clean this place up. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. And if y'all want to help, sharing, liking, commenting on my videos helps out more than you know. Every time y'all do it, I appreciate each one of you. And I know I got a little bit over 1,815 subscribers now, and I thank you all. I know I'm a long ways from getting one of those plaques. But to me, reaching my goal of 2,000 right now be excellent. And like I said, each time I reach that goal, I'll increase it by just a little. So, thank y'all for watching, subscribing, and just dealing with me. And once again, just have a great rest of the week, great weekend. Be safe while you're traveling. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. God bless.